Hey, this is Nicole Kelly, host of Loud and Proud. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, everybody. This is Baxter Colburn from Public House Media. From all of us here at PHM, we'd like to thank you for your support and wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Time for the Gregg and Dave Show.
Unjustifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in.
Featuring Greg Wattsnyder.
Give me Twinkies or give me that.
And David Bobkey.
I am the Queen, yes.
Bravely bringing you the stories of the strange.
Going off on a madcap romp.
It'll be an adventure. We're going on an adventure.
What, you high? Now sit back and enjoy the show.
That is my least favorite thing to do.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Gregg and Dave Show on Public House Media. I am the Greg.
And I am Dave Show.
You might be listening or watching us, probably listening because you can't really watch us because there's no video here, but on thephmedia.com or wherever good podcasts are found. Right, Dave Show?
That's correct. If you're watching us right now, you're probably hanging by your feet from the gutters of the building, looking in a window, or you're in our studio audience, which you seem to be seated next to right now.
Right.
And somebody left the door open, so we might be hearing random noises from them. But they are supposed to be quiet, so...
Right, they are supposed to be quiet, yes.
You sitting on your hands, people? Okay, well, you know what? Kick her out. She raised her hand. She's clearly not sitting on her hands. Oh, you have 3 hands. Oh, I'm sorry.
So we have a lot of weird news stories today on our show.
Yeah, this is a good week for just really strange stuff. And hey, if you got a Mountain Dew, drink it.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I say, Dave Show.
Many a time I've heard you say that.
No product placement there, but...
Yep.
Anyway, especially if it's a peach-flavored soft drink, Dave Show. Do they make peach-flavored soft drinks? Have you ever had a peach-flavored anything?
Yeah, actually, at some of the finer dining establishments now, like Noodles or Wendy's, they have soda machines where you can actually have a peach flavoring added to your beverage.
Yeah.
So you can get like peach Coca-Cola or peach Mellow Yellow, or so. Yeah, I've actually enjoyed a few peach beverages that way.
Dave, I'm fond of the flavor of peach. Are you?
I like a good peach flavor now and then.
Right. Dave Show, who is maybe too fond of peaches because they're too good.
Well, we do have a peaches-related story, and this story comes to us from our lovely friends at Mother Nature Network online, MNN.com. Very interesting story that I've been seeing a couple places online. It says, this little boy can only eat peaches, and he needs your help. This poor kid can eat nothing but peaches. I mean, we hear about allergic reactions because somebody's allergic to peanuts, or I believe, if I'm not mistaken, our good friend Baxter, our supreme ruler and overlord here at Public House Media, is allergic to apricots and I think possibly peaches. I can't remember for sure.
Right.
And we've talked about allergies on the show before, and that sucks. But man, this kid can only eat peaches.
And can only eat a certain type of peaches.
That's true.
Right, Dave Show?
That's true. I'll jump into the article here. If you could only eat one kind of food for the rest of your life, it would be hard to go wrong with the humble yet delicious peach. The trouble, of course, arises when you realize that's it. One food, every meal, every day, peach, everything. Not so warm and fuzzy now, is it? Is it, the Greg?
It is not. It's still fuzzy, but I don't know how warm it is.
I dare say it's the pits. But it...
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Bale. But it gets even worse for a young boy from Montreal, Canada. Worse than that joke I just laid down. A young man named Micah. He has hardly known any other kind of food in his life, and straying from a diet of peaches could kill him. Micah was just 2 years old when he was diagnosed with a debilitating disorder called food protein-induced enterocolitis syndrome, or FPIES, apparently is the...
I was going to say, how is that abbreviated, Dave Show?
It is FPIES, or FPIES if you prefer.
FPIES.
FPIES. A severe food allergy, it leaves him violently intolerant to virtually every kind of food, even his mother's milk. I cannot imagine going through this. I mean, even just being stuck with one food myself is about impossible to imagine. I can't imagine having a kid I can only feed one thing to.
Now, I've been asked this question. I've been asked, so Greg, if you can eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? And my response is always pizza.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'd even get sick of pizza after a while.
Yeah. I mean, it depends, too, if you can have different kinds of pizza.
Right.
I mean, would those little candy pizzas count as pizza or not? I'm guessing not.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I don't know. It depends how you want to twist it.
I didn't know they made candy pizzas.
Oh, yeah, somebody does somewhere. There's candy everything out there these days.
Right.
Story goes on to say, even peaches themselves, his sole safe food, can be a prickly proposition. He can't eat them frozen, nor canned, nor dried, because they may contain additives. They also have to be organic. Pesticides would cue the same old nightmare all over again. The trouble is, fresh organic peaches aren't always plentiful, nor are they cheap.
Right.
Quote here, we are buying peaches in bulk and are running out of funds to do so, as we also have to pay for his complex medical needs. I think this is his dad here. Says Mason, who stays home to care for Micah and his two older brothers. And they have a GoFundMe going, so people can go look for that.
Right.
And, of course, we'll post a link on the Gregg and Dave Show Facebook page at facebook.com/Gregg Dave Show if you want to see more about this story.
Because, I mean, you want to help this poor kid, right? You know? Let him eat the only thing he can eat.
Yeah.
Which is peaches. Now, did not the story say that they're also trying some sort of broth?
Yeah, they say Micah's family is experimenting with rabbit broth as a possible safe food. Seems to be going well, but after 2 weeks, he is only getting about half teaspoon worth a day. Not much. Not enough to substitute for a meal, certainly.
So peaches and broth. I don't know if that is a diet I see myself on anytime soon.
No, but oddly enough, Peaches and Broth was the Bob Geldof cover band that Greg and I were in once upon a time. The Greg and I were in once upon a time.
Yes.
I keep forgetting to add the. It's like royalty. I should be calling you the Greg every time. And yet here I am like a schmuck.
As I should be calling you Dave Show every time.
Yeah, well, you're pretty good about that. But I'm like, it's like a royalty term. If you were Sir the Greg, I should address you as such every time.
And I should have a throne.
You should have a throne. Mrs. Bale, can we get a throne for the Greg? No, she's not giving hers up, dude. I should have known.
I should have a throne where I can play video games all day long.
That sounds great. Your chair should not be propping open the door to the room with the audience in it either.
Right.
We should have... Why did we move his table? Okay, whatever. We'll deal with that later. King Segue, if I may... The Greg. King Segue, you've taken us into our next story.
Yes, I have.
Indeed. This story coming from kdramau.com. The letter K, the word drama, the word you as an opposite of me. Yeah, very interesting story here. And a warning to us all, I dare say. Chinese man becomes completely paralyzed after playing mobile games for 2 days straight. The Greg, have you ever done anything for 2 days straight?
I don't think I've ever even slept for 2 days straight, let alone done anything else. No. The answer to that question is no.
Answering in the negative.
Right.
I can't think of anything.
I can't think of anything that I've done for 2 days straight.
I played Madden 2000 for the better part of a day once, but that was about it.
Yeah.
I think I was forgetting to blink. I do remember that. So, anyway, our story takes us to China, as one would think, talking about a Chinese gentleman here.
Right.
Odds are pretty good. It says a young man in China was so addicted to his mobile game that he became paralyzed from bad posture. Yes, parents, if you want your kids to quit playing those darn mobile games, this may be the story for them to listen to.
Yes. If anything on the Gregg and Dave Show is worth listening to by kids, this is.
Yes, this is the thing worth learning this week. Or maybe ever for our show. But anyway, healthcare experts have continually warned that looking down at your phones in an unnatural position could potentially cause adverse effects in the body. A 29-year-old Chinese man wanted to get ahead in his online games, as you do, so he decided to play on his cell phone for 2 days straight. On the third day, he rose again. Wait, no, that's not right. On the third day, he suddenly realized that he was paralyzed from the neck down and had to be rushed to the hospital. MRI and several other tests revealed that there were blood clots in his cervical spinal tube that were pressing against his spinal cord, which ultimately led to paralysis. I am moving my head in an upward direction right now just to make sure that that doesn't happen because I'm looking down at my computer screen right now.
Yeah, as I'm doing all sorts of weird posture exercises with my head and back right now.
We don't look strange at all.
To make sure.
You know, and I guess this is a good defense for doing yoga as well, as Mrs. Bale does before every the Gregg and Dave show. Excuse me, I did it again. Mrs. Bale's always over there doing downward dog and whatever the thing is where you bend funny and bring your head up. And
I thought she just did that to relax herself.
She does, yeah. I mean, putting up with us is like... It's like putting up with two kids. And that's just me.
Pretty much.
Just to cap this story here quickly, the orthopedic surgeons were able to remove his blood clots, and the man was, thankfully, able to move again. But he learned a great lesson from his misfortunes and will most likely take better care of his time and choice of hobby. I would hope so.
I have sat so long where I... lose circulation to the rear end. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh, yeah.
Where your whole posterior end just becomes numb?
Yeah, I get quite a pain in my butt that falls asleep. And her name is Mrs. Bale. That was for you, Mrs. Bale. You know that, yeah. But anyway, seriously. Oh, yeah, my butt's fallen asleep plenty of times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not an enjoyable sensation. I've also had it happen where I'd fall asleep and I'd lay in a position so long that like my arm's right on top of me and I wake up in the middle of the night and my arm's just...
Oh, yeah.
That's always fun.
Oh, yeah, where you sleep on your arm.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever slept on your arm?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find it very interesting that the brain doesn't bother to tell me that that's going on until it's like happened for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So the arm's just totally shot for a while.
Right.
The human brain.
Why do we do weird things to ourselves as humans? Put ourselves in weird postures. Do weird things.
That sounds like another segue, Greg.
Right. But first of all, we must take a commercial break.
Yeah, we do.
And we advise you to stretch out your cervical spine so as to not get bad circulation.
Yes.
Or become paralyzed. Well, we take this commercial break.
Why did our studio audience
right
think
here
that
on the
was
Gregg
funny?
and Dave Show?
What kind of sick people are you? Yeah, let's go to commercial. I'm going to straighten them out. Go ahead. You throw us to commercial break. I'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Hello, am I speaking?
The Gregg and Dave Show will be right back after this. Once again, big thanks to Kevin MacLeod and incompetech.com for availability of his music. You're about to hear the piece Carefree, and you're also hearing the song Burnt Spirit on this here show, along, of course, with our usual theme song, Take a Chance. Check him out at incompetech.com.
Hey, this is Dave Show from the Gregg and Dave Show, and I would like to speak about my friend Sam Kirby. He's a great guy. He hosts a show called Cinema Stories, and you should really check out his podcast right here on Public House Media.
That sounded pretty good right there.
Dave Show, what's Cinema Stories all about?
Cinema Stories... Well, wait, I thought you were Dave Show.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, my goodness. I'm having an identity crisis. But Sam Kirby, thankfully, isn't. And Cinema Stories is a delightful podcast that I enjoy quite a bit. I believe it's one of Baxter's favorites as well. Our grand and supreme overlord, Baxter. But anyways, Cinema Stories is Sam Kirby telling us about a little bit about TV shows, a lot about movies, giving us his reviews, what he likes about movies, what he doesn't like. He's got a very intricate rating system, and it's an enjoyable all-around listen because you can tell he really appreciates film. He loves a good movie, loves to have a good laugh during a movie, loves great suspense. Just all of the finer things of cinema you can tell Sam really gets into. And you hear that in Cinema Stories.
So grab your popcorn and get the podcast on thephmedia.com or wherever good podcasts are found.
Yeah, grab your popcorn, hide your wives, because he's reviewing everything out here. I don't know if that's staying in or not.
And now, the dramatic conclusion of the Gregg and Dave Show.
And we're back on the Gregg and Dave Show on Public House Media, thephmedia.com. You can also find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. The list goes on, Dave Show. It really does.
Yeah, it really does. And in my ears, we said that at the same time. So Jinx, buy me a Coke. And there's just so much good stuff. And there's more stuff coming down the pike on Public House Media.
Right.
That's the other great thing.
Right.
It's fantastic. So much.
You know what else goes on and on and on, Dave Show?
Me?
Yeah, you do.
Yep.
But humanity being stupid
and
doing stupid things.
Yes, indeed.
Now, Dave Show, I've done some stupid things in my life.
No.
I know. Like drinking a quart of eggnog at 3 a.m. in college. That was a stupid thing. Getting a mohawk in college. That was a really silly and stupid thing.
I really want to see a picture of that.
Yeah. We should get one and post it on the Gregg and Dave Show Facebook page.
Absolutely.
Which you can find, by the way, at facebook.com/Gregg with 3 G's, Gregg, Dave Show.
Yes. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I almost want to put up a cash reward for anybody who's got pictures of that. Almost. I'm not going to.
Right.
Just saying.
So, Dave Show, where does our next story take us to?
Our next story takes us to Wolverhampton, which means that, thankfully, this story comes to us from the BBC. And we do love our English and, indeed, all of our European sources for these stories.
Mm-hmm.
And the BBC may well be the finest source of them all.
Mm-hmm.
This story has the headline, Man Cements Microwave to Head in Wolverhampton. I'm going to repeat that because I think that bears repeating. Man cements microwave to head.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Cement microwave to head is in quotation marks, by the way. It's got a single quotation around each side. It's literally what he did, so I'm not exactly sure why those are necessary, but I digress. It says here, an internet prankster, also in quotes, understandable, had to be freed by firefighters after cementing his head inside a microwave oven. West Midlands Fire Rescue said it took an hour to free the man after they were called to a house in Ford Houses, Wolverhampton. Friends had managed to feed an air tube into the 22-year-old's mouth to help him breathe, the service said. And they have a video here, of the picture. And you know what? I'm not even sure how his head is in the microwave. It's just, there's him and there's the microwave. And that's all I can see. I don't know if he had his head down so his face was partially out or what exactly how it's in there. Not sure I want to know, frankly. It says here, Mr. Dakin, who I believe was a police chief, said he and a group of his friends had mixed 7 bags of polyfilla, which they then poured around his head, which was protected by a plastic bag inside the microwave.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, putting a plastic bag over your head, brilliant idea.
Yes.
So this isn't just a dumb idea. This is a dumb idea wrapped in a dumb idea. The oven was being used as a mold and wasn't plugged in, thankfully. The mixture quickly set hard, and by the time we were called, they'd already been trying to free him for an hour and a half. Crews from the technical rescue team helped with taking the microwave apart, he added. It took us nearly an hour to free him. added Mr. Dakin. All of the group involved were very apologetic, but this was clearly a call-out which might have prevented us from helping someone else in genuine accidental need. This is another one, the Gregg, where I simply say, where do we start with this one?
Yes. Where did this story go wrong to begin with?
Does it go back to the point where this guy was born, or is it a little bit after that? I guess that's what I'm wondering. You learn a heck of a lot between the ages of about 20 and 25. On some level, even if you don't think you're thinking this, you do in some way. You think you get the world. You think you understand how the world works. You got it by the tail. And then by the time you hit about 25, 26, 27, you realize you have no idea what's going on. You have to learn how to adult now. And everything just goes to heck in a handbasket.
Mm-hmm.
This may be a personal story, but yeah, I just I don't know. I don't know what to say about this guy. I don't know. Well, definitely lesson learned, right? Well,
I'll never do that in the future.
Here's the thing, though, Greg. I can tell you that I don't think he has learned his lesson, because this particular YouTuber, who I'm not even sure we should say his name. I'm sure people can find it if they really, really want to. But I can tell you, I have found the channel that this guy uses. He has over 3 million subscribers, which is approximately 3 million more followers on YouTube than we have on Facebook.
Right.
And since this incident happened, a video has gone up titled, "I glued my head inside a toilet with a hot glue gun."
Ooh.
Now, that's
not going to end well.
I will note the toilet was not attached to anything else. This was a freestanding toilet picked in the wild. So it's at least clean, So there's that. But yeah, I don't think they learned.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
Well, you know what they say. Kids these days
won't get off my dang lawn.
And before you stick your head in a microwave, you've been listening to another episode of The Gregg and Dave Show on Public House Media and thephmedia.com. Dave, I can think of 25 better things that I'm going to do this afternoon. None of them involve sticking my head in a microwave.
Indeed.
Or sticking my head anywhere, for that matter.
Good. Yeah, I don't want you to lose your head, the Gregg, because I'm just now remembering to put the in front of your name, which I'm going to work on all week.
Right.
Like, I'm going to be practicing a few things all week. I'm going to practice my Tai Chi. I'm going to practice saying the Gregg. I'm going to practice apologizing to Mrs. Bale, because I think she almost believes when I apologize for things after the show, because, inevitably I have caused her just an incredible amount of grief. And I feel bad, Mrs. Bale.
So much so that she has to do yoga. I heard that she does yoga like 15 times a week.
She's doing that wine yoga, too. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
It's like you do yoga poses and you drink wine. What's up with that?
Sounds like something I'm missing out on.
Have you ever heard of this goat yoga?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I have, in fact.
What's up with that?
I don't know. About a group of students from Carroll University, which happens to be the place where I'm at right now, recording this.
We're on Carroll University
I record
campus?
most of the...
How did that happen?
Carroll University campus. Yes.
Holy crap.
Yes. And they took a group last year and did goat yoga last year. True story.
Interesting. Well, since it is almost the end of the
Yes.
show, I just want to say, Mrs. Bale, I think you're the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Let's hear it for Mrs. Bale, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Mrs. Bale, fine job she does.
Yes, definitely. So, Dave Show, this being, maybe a little bit after Christmas, I want to say that the gift I got you this Christmas season is the gift of my appreciation for you being my co-host.
And the Gregg, it is totally my pleasure. And that's it for the show. And I'm sorry, my gift to you, the Gregg, which I obviously put months of thought into, just months of thought.
Right, just months. Yes.
I have it somewhere. I'm not just buying time.
Well, that's all the time we have for the Gregg and Dave Show today. Thanks for listening, everybody.
I got you some Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Here we go.
You've been listening to the Gregg and Dave Show. The Gregg and Dave Show theme is Take a Chance by Kevin MacLeod of incompetech.com.